Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kyle Riker, back at you with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the WWE Elite Series 109 Seth Freakin Rollins. Yes, finally we got ourselves an updated Elite Seth Rollins. Like, his last Elite was, I think, what, Elite Series 99? So it's been a little while. I mean, we did have, I think, one or two top picks squeezed in, but haven't had an updated Seth in the regular Elite line. And so many freaking basics of this new look, but we need an Elite. Finally, we got it. It was very plain Jane with this one, not much to it. People are actually very skipping on this figure, aside from getting the championship here, which the belt alone is like $35 online. So people are kind of passing on this figure, only getting it for the belt, but I disagree. I think this is one of the better Seth Rollins figures. And I'll explain why as we go on later in the review. But of course, first things first, the packaging. Got an awesome picture of Seth, which I love this picture of Seth right here. I would actually wouldn't mind seeing this as a head sculpt on a future figure. Okay, it was Series 109. Seth Freakin Rollins. I'm actually surprised they put the Freakin on there. That's actually pretty cool. There's a picture of Seth. And then, of course, the back, got a picture of him holding the title. A little bio and stats. You can pause it right there if you want to read. And of course, down below, the other figures in the set. Of course, we got Seth Rollins, we got Dominic Mysterio, Shinsuke Nakamura, Damian Priest, Bayley, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Of course, Seth we're obviously doing right now. Dominic was my last review. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Shinsuke Nakamura, definitely getting him, of course, the regular and the chase. However, of course, I'm a little scared to take the robe off because of the stains, but we'll see. Damian Priest, obviously, because, I'm a mark for him. And plus, that figure looks awesome. Bayley, of course, great figure. Finally, we got ourselves an updated Elite Bayley, so definitely getting that one. Cody Rhodes, like I said, I'm split because I don't really care for figures in the suits, even though I love the accessories that figure comes with. And plus, it's a pretty cool looking figure, so I don't know, maybe I'll get Cody. But check out my review of Dominic if you haven't seen it, and stay tuned for reviews of Shinsuke, Damian, Bayley, and maybe Cody. We'll see. As that does it for the packaging, so open up Seth Rollins and see what we have. Alright, so here we have Seth Freakin Rollins out of his packaging. And I think this figure is excellent. And I actually think it's very underrated. Because as I mentioned before, people are only buying this figure pretty much for the belt and then just getting rid of the figure. I disagree. I think this is a very nice figure. And actually, a very nice upgrade for your collection as well. Anyways, let's take a look. First up is accessories. Not much. He comes with 2 pairs of hands. He's got these standard gripping hands. And we've seen these hands before with Randy Orton and a few others. Basically for his entrance pose. That's pretty cool. Like when he's just moving his hands around as the crowd's singing along. And of course, the reason that a lot of people are buying this, and that is the debut of the new World Heavyweight Championship. Very cool to have this. I think the coloring is a tad bit off, judging by the picture up here. The tad bit off, could have been a little bit more brighter. And I like the new strap that they made for this title. I like it. Very nice sculpting on it. And of course, we do have the custom side plates for Seth Rollins, even though I do wish that they find a way to let you swap these out to get just a regular side plate, especially because this is the first time we got this title with a figure. And obviously, Seth is not the champion anymore, so it would be weird for you to display this with Damian Priest, who's the current champion at the time this video is released, and then he has the Seth Rollins side plates on there. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go buy a custom from a guy I've bought customs from before in the past, and he would make this with just standard side plates. So unfortunately, I have to do that. And it's still cool that he comes with it, and I do like that it has the custom side plates, but I wish that they found a way to let you swap these out and have regular side plates, like maybe like interchangeable side plates. That's kind of a shame. Like I said, it's still cool to have it. Coloring's a little bit off. And of course, like I said, I wish that you could change the side plates. And also, I've seen comments saying it's a little bit too big. I agree. The prototype looked a little bit too small. Now this one looks a little bit too big to where it doesn't really fit his waist. So really the only place you can really display it is on his shoulder, like just like how I had it. So that's kind of a shame. Unless you put like a really thick like jacket on him or something. If you have like a custom jacket or a jacket from another figure. So that's a shame. It was now into Seth himself. Great head scan. I really like it. We've seen this head scan before, but I don't think the hair's been this long, so the hair is a little bit different. Like I said, I like this face. Might be the best face we've gotten for Seth in terms of it actually looking like him. However, the expression is a little bit plain Jane. I wish that it could have been something like on the packaging here, because he's like so freaking like charismatic nowadays and like very over the top. So I think they definitely need to capture that personality in these faces instead of just like a boring plain expression face like this. Like I said, I like the face. It looks just like him. Oh, sorry about that. Bumped into my fan here. Like I said, I think it's a great face. Looks just like him. Like I said, just add a little bit of expression to it. Like maybe like that little smile there. Or maybe something like this from the Elite 93. Well, this is the Top Picks version. But the Elite 93, see, he's like smiling and everything. Oh, maybe something like this. Just give him the hair. Just do something like this to capture, you know, his personality now. Like I said, hair looks good. It could have been another layer to it. It's going down simple formula that we've had before with Seth. Like I said, good torso choice. Got the chest hair. And of course his tattoo there on the back. Of course, the same standard arms, which the skin tone's a little bit off with it, but that's usual Mattel. Of course, black wrist tape. And the tights. Very basic tights, but that's kind of what he's wearing nowadays. And I actually like this one. I actually like the color to it. Has actually like a couple different layers. It looks darker in some spots. It looks pretty cool. And I love the texture on the knee pads and the boots. Like, I like that design. It's very cool. It's very basic, but still very cool gear. And they're actually doing a repaint of this in the next Elite, which I think is Elite Series 112, where it's this gear, but it's like black. I think there might be a little bit of red in there. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. And that one that's a great face for getting, for that Seth. I think it's like a screaming face or something like that. Like, that's a great face. So I'm looking forward to that one. But still, this one's still really cool too. I like the gear on it. Very nice. And of course, it's pretty cool. We got the title. Articulation is standard. Now, unfortunately, this is actually one of the figures that has the problem that some people have been complaining about on TikTok, and I'll get into it in a second. Hair rotates 360. I can go up and down. Hair gets in the way a tiny bit, but not too bad. Arms rotate 360, go in and out. Bicep, double jointed elbow. Of course, mine's a little tight. Love that. Rotate the wrist and then hinge at the wrist. Ab crunch, forward and back. Waist. Here comes what people are complaining about, and that's the hips. Now, I mentioned in my Dominic review, it was the drop-down legs, which some figures do have that, but that's not really what people were complaining about. I mean, I thought it was, but I looked back at it, and I've noticed it now. I didn't have it on Dominic, but I do have it on this figure, and that is the hip joints. They seem to have gone back to what they did before in 2011. Is it the same problem they had back in 2010, 2011, where the hip joints are so stiff? Like, remember back in the day when it used to be the ankles? Now it's the hips. Like, they're so stiff. This leg especially. Like, it's like so stiff you can barely move it. So, hopefully they fix that. Because obviously, if they keep doing that, and obviously with kids playing with this, or if you're going to pose it for your shelf display or stop motion, you may risk breaking it if it's that freaking tight. So, just be careful with that. Forward, back. And now, like I said, this leg's fine. This one's super stiff. Let's rotate the thigh. Double jointed knee, swivel at the boot, hinge at the ankle. However, this is one of the newer molds, so it is stiff. And then slight ankle pivot. That sucks with that hip joint. And they use one of the newer boot molds to where it's super stiff. Yeah, the 2021 boots, so this one's super stiff. That really sucks. Anyways, like, aside from those few issues with the articulation, and of course I wish we had a better expression on the face, I think this figure is very underrated. Like I said, many people are buying this only for the belt and then just getting rid of the figure. But I think it's unjustified. I think this is a very nice figure to have and definitely a great updated Seth for you to have. Like I said, I think this figure is underrated and actually a hidden gem. So, quick final thoughts. Overall, I think this figure is actually a hidden gem. Like I said, I think it's very underrated. Because I think it's kind of unnecessary and unjustified for people to only buy this for the championship and then just get rid of the figure. Because I've seen people do that, where they'll sell the figure by itself for, I think, 15 or 20 bucks, and they'll sell the title for about 30, or they'll just sell the figure and keep the belt. Like I said, I think it's unjustified. I think not only is it cool to have the belt, but this is actually a very nice upgraded Seth Rollins figure, like updated Seth Rollins, that is, despite its flaws. Only complaints I have with it is, of course, the belt is too big. I mean, it's actually around his pelvic. It's not around his waist here that I have it, because if it's around his waist, it's like way too like floppy. Those other places. Like I said, belt's too big. I wish you could swap out the side plates. Head scan could have been a little bit better. Had like a different expression, even though I love that face. And of course, the very stiff hip joints. So be very careful with that. that if you choose to, you know, play with this or use it, you know, in stop motions or whatever, or if you're just posing it for your shelf display. So be very, very careful. Because some figures have that problem, some don't. So either way, be very careful with your newer figures. Like I said, despite its flaws, I think very underrated, hidden gem. Like I said, probably the gem of the series. So I'd say if you need an updated Seth Rollins figure, I'd say go for it. I think this is a nice figure to have. So like I said, pick it up if you can. It is kind of one of the peg warmers, so you should have no problem finding it in the store or getting it for a good deal online. Like I said, if you can get it, snatch them up. Probably won't regret it. You actually may be surprised by it. Anyways, pick them up if you can. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Be sure to check out my previous review, which was Dominic Mysterio. Stay tuned for future reviews of Shinsuke Nakamura, Damian Priest, Bayley, and possibly Cody from the same set. And also, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you miss a single review. And stay tuned for more reviews of not just WWE action figures, AEW action figures, toy hunts at stop motions, maybe some TNA and Ring of Honor figures in the future, and a whole lot more. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please rate, comment, subscribe. And until next time, remember, you can't touch my dream and you can't touch my soul. I'm out. Take care, guys. Bye.